For those of you who haven't already met me, I'm John Schnackenberg, Chairman of the avocado industry. We also have John Cottrell with us today, one of the at-large Bay of Plenty based representatives, and of course our CEO, Jen Schooler. We are recording this afternoon to put on the website for those growers who haven't yet made or had the opportunity to see us in Katikati, Chipuki, Opotiki, Hauhora or Whangarei, or Waiapa. Fairly straightforward agenda today. We're just going to work our way through the paperwork we sent you last week, hopefully, or actually the week before. Hopefully you all got our post out. That includes the 5-year plan and then discussion around the commodity levy renewal process and options that we have been asked to consider that we've wanted to present to you for consideration. And then we open it up for discussion. And at the end of the discussion, hopefully I will obtain from you, you will have got all the questions answered that you want, and we'll obtain from you support for the proposal going forward. I'm going to speak for 4 or 5 minutes to 2 slides, or to a few slides, and then Jen will do the key part of the presentation. But before I go into our presentation, I need to just do a little plug for our parent organisation, Horticulture New Zealand, who coincidentally have a levy renewal round at the same time as us, which may provide a little bit of confusion. HortNZ is covering national issues, including RMA issues and biosecurity. They're leading the charge for us with the government under the GIA or Government Industry Agreement process. And they've done a lot of work for us in a whole bunch of specific areas recently with respect to high tension power lines in the Bay of Plenty, similarly in the mid-north, and in areas with respect to water and what have you. We, the board, have wanted to convey to growers that we are going to support, or would like to encourage our growers to support it. They're seeking a levy of 15 cents per $100. You're currently paying 11 cents. Fruit growers are paying 11 cents. Vegetable growers are paying 15 cents per $100 and have been paying 15 cents since day one. We've been partly subsidised by significant revenue available to HortNZ from the Fruit Growers Charitable Trust, which which is no longer available for a period of time. They have their main asset is a building in Wellington, which is not earthquake proof, and they are rebuilding it pretty much and need their money to sustain that asset. Also, they're arguing it's equitable that fruit growers and vegetable growers pay the same levy. About 80% of their funding comes from levies a bit from government, and there has been top up, as I mentioned, from the Fruit Growers Charitable Trust. And we as avocado growers represent about 25% of growers affected by HortNZ, but probably only contribute less than 10% of their funding. So the board would encourage you to support their levy when it comes through. First of 2 or 3 slides now that I want to talk about structure. There's been a lot of discussion about whether we've got our structure right, and we ourselves have done a bit of navel gazing about it, and we've come up with a much more simpler diagram, and perhaps simplicity is best, just to help us understand what we're doing and help you understand who's running the place. New Zealand Avocado Growers Association, the AGA, is the green box. It's the big part of the business. It's you. You are the growers that are represented or whose issues are represented by your elected representatives at the Growers Association. The AGA happens to own the entity AIC Limited, which I guess is the business end, and where essentially a lot of the business is done. For example, it employs the staff, it has a lot of the commercial contracts, but it was initially formed simply for the purpose of being the recognised product group under the AGA legislation. And the little blue box is now, we're representing the committee within AIC Limited, which is the recognised product group, and that is where your two exporter representatives join with the AGA elected representatives and form the total board. But the point I want to make is that it's the Growers Association that owns the AIC and is in control of what's happening, i.e. you are in control of what's happening through us, your elected representatives. At a recent strategy meeting in mid-May, which led to the 5-year plan and involved quite a bit of discussion about the commodity levy process, one of the things we wanted to do, and fits with the previous slide and will follow into the next, is make sure we understood as your representatives what our role was and what accountabilities there were. I think we've struggled with this a little bit, and I want to congratulate Jen for forcing us to get this clarified in our minds and get it on a piece of paper. Hopefully it'll resonate with you and assist you in understanding exactly what we see we are about and what we can't control. AGA, on behalf of growers, monitors and reports performance of the industry throughout the value chain. AGA's role is to ensure industry structure and processes are set up, including documenting accountabilities, fostering innovation and facilitating industry participants to perform to the benefit of growers to maximise grower value in the long term. The exporter is accountable to their growers for OGR performance, and the accountability should be set out in the grower-exporter contract. Taking that forward in a bigger picture, defining our strategy and the areas of influence, an orchard to consumer picture. Jen talks about it more being a consumer to orchard picture, but either way, there are a number of steps from the orchard through the value chain to consumer. The AGA is not responsible for all of them. In fact, we're responsible for a few of them. But what we are doing and saying is we will be responsible for identifying along the way the steps that need to be taken and ensure that various stakeholders in our industry are taking responsibility for delivery of the component that they are responsible for, and where they don't, we will be letting you know, with the long-term purpose of maximising grower value. So that's it's not a one-year thing, it's a multi-year process for us to not only get sustainable income out of our orchards, but to, through sustainable income, hold and raise the value of our orchards. And I'm going to pass on to Jen now, who will, if you'll bear with us for 30 seconds.